In the 1930s, Japan devoted far less attention to armored warfare than Germany, Britain, or the Soviet Union. The backbone of its tank forces consisted of light vehicles and the Type 89 Ego medium tank, a design whose lineage dated back to the First World War. It was good enough for infantry support, but by the middle of the decade, it was already obsolete. The Imperial Navy remained the Empire's clear favorite, so the Army had to abandon more ambitious solutions and settle for practical compromises. The Ego's main weakness was its poor mobility. For the new tank, designers chose the chassis of the Type 95 Hago, a light tank that was reasonably fast and reliable. The suspension, designed by Tomio Hara, offered a smooth ride and was simple to manufacture. The designers faced no easy task. They had to create a true medium tank. Mitsubishi's project was named Chiha. Weighing around 15 tons, the prototype retained the Ego's 57mm gun, received thicker armor, and became noticeably livelier thanks to a new, more powerful engine. The Chiha underwent trials alongside a competing design developed by the Osaka Arsenal. Its rival weighed only 10 tons and was simple and cheap, but that was where its advantages more or less ended. It was cramped and uncomfortable for the crew, offered no meaningful edge in mobility, and had far less room for future modernization. In the end, it was the Mitsubishi design that was selected for mass production. On paper, the Chiha was clearly superior to its predecessor. In 1939, however, during the fighting in Haokengol, its serious shortcomings became impossible to ignore. The Chiha's armor stood up poorly to Soviet guns, while its low-velocity 57mm cannon was markedly inferior in armor penetration to the 45mm guns mounted on the BT and the T-26. Japanese crews were plainly short on both protection and firepower. The bitter lessons of those defeats forced Japan to move quickly on an upgrade. The result was an improved version known as the Chiha Kai. It received a new turret and a 47mm gun intended primarily for anti-tank combat. This model remained the principal medium tank of the Japanese Empire right up to the end of the Second World War, because more advanced designs such as the Chi-Nu were produced only in tiny numbers. At first, the Chiha performed well enough. In Malaya and Singapore, the Japanese offset their technical limitations with sound tactics, high mobility, and good coordination. Japanese tank crews sometimes even emerged victorious from engagements with serious opponents such as the American M3 Stuart. But as the war went on, the outlook grew steadily bleaker. In combat against the U.S. Army, especially on Okinawa, the Chiha proved helpless against modern anti-tank weapons. As for the Sherman, penetrating it from the front was almost an impossible task. In such duels, Japanese crews could rely on little more than sheer luck. By 1945, during the Manchurian campaign, it had become obvious that the Chiha was hopelessly outdated. Against powerful T-3485s, Japanese tanks stood no chance at all. Even vehicles rearmed with large-caliber guns could not change the situation. The Chiha had finally gone from being a mainstay of Japan's armored forces to a relic of a bygone age.